Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. I'm a little bit early today, but in today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of different teams for taking down this spider tournament where you can only use champions from the Demonspawn faction. This is probably going to give pretty decent rewards. You know, anyone who's doing the fusion is probably not going to be able to do this. That being said, there's not that many people doing the fusion, I don't think, but still, it could be a good opportunity for relentless gear. There could be a void shard as a reward in here. Not sure what the rewards are right now, but could be a good tournament for you to do. And it's difficult to do because you need sort of specific champions for Demonspawn. So let's dive in. Let me show you two types of different teams. So the first team I want to show you is this team right here. Let's click the start button and let's run it through so you can see how it works. This is an overgeared team, which actually makes it slower than it should be. And I'll explain exactly what you want to do as well. But we come in here, we have the AoE burn from Akoth. Sissia blows it up. And we have the turn meter depletion from Skimfos the Consumed. Kymar then resets and we repeat. And here you can see the problem as of right now, which is that Sissia and Akoth have too much gear on. So they are doing too much damage and they're actually killing the spiderlings, which is not something that you want to do. If they had less damage, the spiderlings would not die. And we could go again. I could also turn off Akoth's A2, just have him use it on the opener. But I found for consistency with my gear and the spiderlings actually dying, that this was the most consistent. So we wipe out the first wave of spiderlings with Sissia. And then the second wave of spiderlings spawns in, and then Sissia is going to burn a good few of them. Akoth follows up with the burn, and the spiders should go down around about 1 minute. Here we go, exactly 1 minute in, and it's a nice 1 minute team. So that's the idea of this team. And really HP burn is how you want to do it. There's a lot of replaceable champions in this team as well, so let me cover it. Let's go over it right now. Actually, before I show you the replaceable champions, let me show you the team setup that we have going here. So Kymar is the fastest. He opens with his A1. Then he resets everyone's cooldowns after they've all taken a turn. Sissia is going to come in and she's going to Flame Eruption actually twice in a row because Kymar resets her. Then she'll Firestorm right. Akoth is going to do a couple of Pyroclasms. Again, you could in theory turn the second one. You could in theory just set this to opener and don't use. I found that it didn't really make a difference. Then Achak the Wendrend, this is a bit sneaky. He opens with Frostfire Gale. Then he actually does Cannibal Might after the reset. And then he does Frostfire Gale after that, which just enables the freezes to work a bit more consistently. Now, he is the wrong affinity, so it's not super consistent at the same time. And then we have Skimfos the Consumed, who's really the MVP of this because he's unbooked. Or, well, he's got 2 books in this move, but this move is actually turned off. So, unbooked Skimfos has a 100% turn meter steal if this attack is critical. Now, it has a 4-turn cooldown, 3 turns when booked. I would highly, highly recommend, if you're going to do this without Kymar, you don't need Kymar. If you're doing it without Kymar, I'd highly recommend booking your Skimfos. You're going to want this to be a 3-turn cooldown. And I have him very slow. You're going to want him to be much faster, and preferably in something like Reflex or Relentless Gear, to give him some extra turns so he can get back to this move. Bearing in mind, he does get back to the move pretty quick because it's not just a deplete, it's actually a steal. So he's going to steal all the turn meter, and then he's going to go pretty quickly after that. So that is the idea of this team. If I show you, let's dive into some alternatives actually, and then I'll show you how I geared this exact team. So for alternatives, really the key, I really do think you want Skimfos. I think Skimfos is pretty essential because of the turn meter steal. I think that's so good. And I think your options for turn meter control outside of that are really very poor. Allure is obviously amazing, but her attack is at random. That's really not good enough. Yeah, I don't know what else you do for proper turn meter control. Diabolist has a little bit, but again, it's really nothing compared to that. So I think if you don't have Skimfos, if you've got Skimfos, you can do a very quick speed run of this. If you don't have him, you're going to be having the spider actually consume its wave and reset, and you're just going to have to go for a longer run, I'm pretty sure. You're also going to need a HP burner. Now, there's lots of options. Tyrant, AoE, 100% HP burn. I'm using Akoth, who has a 3-turn cooldown unbooked, AoE 100% chance to HP burn, right? So they're very, very good. they're really your two options. Akoth from Doom Tower, Tyrant in there as well. You can use Sissia for an AoE HP burn, but she's the wrong affinity for stage 20, so it's going to slow you down a little bit. You could use Drexthar even as a mischief, not a mischief tank. I'm so used to saying mischief tank. You could use him as a Spiderling tank on stage 20. They'll attack him, he will burn them. It's going to be a much slower run, but it can work if you want to do it like that. But those are your two real ways of doing this. Again, Akoth you're going to get for sure after playing the game for a while, and then Tyrant if you've pulled him. Sneaky strategy, the Hell Hades strategy, which I really, really like for this as well, is using the Achak for the freeze, and Achak gives you some turn meter as well with the freezes, but he's very inconsistent. Achak, Skimfos, and then a HP burner, either Akoth or Tyrant. But then you can throw in a couple of rares. This is quite a sneaky one, specifically for Hellfang, who has an AoE freeze. He actually has a 80% freeze AoE attack, and he's the right affinity for stage 20, so he's actually the best AoE freezer. He does some other stuff which is really not important, but you can bring him in with a Hound Spawn. He needs to be in there to activate this, and you just turn off Hound Spawn's moves, have him just A1 the boss, I suppose. They don't really need any gear. You want Hellfang's A3 booked 100% for sure. But that's all they need, and that's going to work really, really well. Now, if I show you the gear on my champions and what we're running with, so Sissia is in this gear. She is geared up for Hydra as well. So realistically, you just need her to be faster than the Spiderling, so she explodes the HP burn, and she's not even super essential on this team. You could swap her out for like a second Skimfos or anything you want. But yeah, you want her to have as low damage as possible, just have 220 accuracy, and probably just like 140 speed or something is probably plenty, to be honest. You just need to be faster than the Spiderlings, or fast enough to take 2 turns if you're going like this. With this team I've got built here, we've got Achak the Wenderin. Again, you want her to have as low damage as possible. I have her with too much accuracy, more speed than you need. War Master on champions is really good. I actually have Achak in the extra chance to freeze, which is fine too. You're going to be messed over by weak hits though. You want your HP burner to do as little damage as possible. This is the biggest gearing mistake in this team. He does way too much damage. He's got good defense and he's got crit rate and some crit damage, so you wouldn't want that. I've got him built again for Hydra, which is not good. You want your HP burner to do as little damage as physically possible. You want the Spiderlings to survive, and that's going to make you run faster. And then Skimfos just really wants 100% crit rate and speed. I actually built him. I'm in the process of building him. I didn't have enough time to roll stuff up and to upgrade his masteries and everything. But you can build him to nuke to speed things up a bit, make him hit hard. He really doesn't do much damage though. War Master's going to do way more damage if you get it. He really just wants to have 100% crit rate. He needs to crit to steal, and then he wants lots of speed. And yeah, I think that's basically it with this team, right? That was everything. So for me, this is, like I said, my team setup. This is going to be a 1 minute or so farm of stage 20 with this exact team. You could definitely speed it up if you had Achak, sorry, not Achak, if you had Akoth and Sissia doing less damage. There's the AoE HP explosion. You can see there are burns on all these spiders, so we don't necessarily need to reapply the burn, and you can see here that we do risk killing some of them when we do that. The turn meter is completely depleted right now. Well, bam, we fire this stuff off. You could, even if you're stuck for this, you could have Skimfos open with his A3, set his A2 to priority 1, and that way he's going to open with his A3, then he'll kill some of those Spiderlings with his A2, and then he'll have his A3 delayed to deplete the turn meter, because we do get fairly full here. So that's a nice little tip you might want to consider. These burns that Sissia throws out does a little bit of damage. You can see we're doing okay damage at Skimfos. His A1 does turn meter deplete as well. It does turn meter deplete as well, but he needs to be booked for it to really be effective. And something else that you can consider, 57 seconds this time, lovely. Yeah, sniper masteries on these champions is also going to help a lot. That little bit of turn meter depletion with sniper is going to be very, very effective on those, on the spiders there, on the spider boss. So there you go, guys. This is the Demonspawn. I think this is a really solid speed team for this stage 20 Demonspawn only. Let me know what sort of team you're running. Yeah, it's really as simple as burn, freeze, either with Achak or the rare, Skimfos. Let Skimfos push the turn meter back and let the burn do its thing. And yeah, like I said, way over geared here, much less gear. It's actually going to do it faster, believe it or not. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed. Good luck in the tournament, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.